Oh, well, actually, no, I said I was going to do a cold open. So, yeah. So anyways, the nephew came over, the little Métis came over.
Oh dear.
Or, I don't know what to call. He's Métis.
Oh, is he half or is he like full?
Oh my word.
My sister is fully white, and his dad is also Métis. So I think, and he's also like a lot more intertwined in his culture. So he came over today, and he's like, yeah. So he came over and he's playing a little bit of games and stuff like that, and then he got his Pokemon game and he opened it up and he was all excited. So he runs downstairs and he starts playing Pokemon on my dad's OLED, which I need to get a better TV than him for reasons. Don't fucking ask. My dad's a boomer. And so halfway through, I come down and I'm like, hey, do you want to play like Halo? And he's like, yes, I want to. He's like, okay. I'm like, do you want to try split screen Halo? I goes, yeah. So I ended up playing split screen Halo with my nephew, and how should I put it? There was a generational divide.
Uh-huh.
I mean, at a certain point, it was like kicking a puppy down a flight of stairs.
Okay.
Like, I think he got 2 kills and I got 20. Am I a bad uncle?
No.
No. I mean, was he more enthralled with the Pokemon and not care?
No, he was pretty upset. And then when he killed me, I was like, good job. Good job. You killed me. Actually, no, he killed me 4 times. See, that's how much thought I put into this.
Uh-huh.
Because I was just like, we're just having fun. And apparently I'm really bad aiming now with an Xbox controllers. Because I was just like, I can't fucking aim or shit.
I felt like the aim assist back in the day was better. Or not better, but
more
like
subtle.
Yeah. Because, man, I remember back in the day that I just, even though it was like I had the aim assist, I was just not good at all.
I just remember the entirety of that entire like match was just like complete and total awfulness, and it was just me being like, okay, I'm just gonna like kill you, and I'm just gonna have my way with you. It was like a cat playing with a mouse. It was like disgusting.
Oh dear.
It was murder at the highest scale. Did I mention I'm partially drunk?
Oh dear. I would have taken the cue to be like, well, I'm just gonna do dumb shit, and he's gonna have fun.
That's what I was trying to do. But it's really hard to do dumb shit when you're not on your main platform. So it turned into us like just meleeing each other. Like my goal the entire match was just like, I'm just gonna kill you with melee kills. That's all I'm gonna do. And see how far I got. And then I think he got me to use my battle rifle and fully kill him once.
Yeah.
But let's start the show.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Let's start it
This
right
is why
now.
we really can't do cold opens.
Hello, everyone. everyone, and welcome to the Black Mind Games podcast. Joining me this week is, well, actually, no. I have a great question for everyone. It's a wonderful question. It's a great and wonderful question. Out of the two new Pokemon games, which Pokemon game would you buy? Pokemon Brilliant Diamond or Pokemon Brilliant Pearl, I think it is.
Oh, given I played Pearl back when that game came out, Diamond.
Okay.
I was a Diamond fan, then I eventually got Pearl afterwards. But yeah, frankly, it was more of like, one was pink and one was a cool blue, like, I don't know, I guess deer-esque. Like, it was blue. I want to say dragon type thing, and the other one was a pink dragon type thing. And I was like, I wasn't sure about the pink one, so I just went with the diamond. And I was like, yeah, let's go with this one. But yeah, like, I don't know. I remember having a decent time with that game, although cannot remember. I say even though fully well, I'm like, I don't remember shit from it. Other than going like, I think I had a good time with that.
I had fun.
Yeah,
fun was there.
I had memories. I have memories with this.
I'm not totally drinking cannabis-infused sparkling water. My name is Jeff, and I'd never played Diamond and Pearl, so I'm probably going to pick up the pink one.
Oh, get the pink one.
Get the pink one. That's the most manly color.
Well, I mean, that was the color for boys back in the day until they flipped the colors around.
Until girls started doing cultural appropriation and started culturally appropriating male culture.
No, it was actually something.
Just say I'm right.
No, because you're an idiot. God.
We all know it's true.
No.
No. The whole room. No. Christ.
Not even that. It's just no.
Yeah.
It just naturally happened.
I mean, there is a reason why it flipped. I forget why.
Probably some king, and he probably was like his son or something like that. And so the king made a decree because blue was supposed to be the feminine color.
What?
It was not really a king thing. It was more of like a culture thing when it flipped. And I forget why, but it's definitely a culture thing.
More likely than not, probably some corporate ass bullshit.
Maybe. I mean, we do have the power of the internet.
They just gradually swapped. It wasn't any real big thing.
How was your guys' Christmas?
It was good.
Was it great? Was it shitty?
Was
there a lot of alcoholic beverages?
I had zero.
You also had to drive, though, didn't you?
I did. Although it was like we stayed over at my sister's place in Calgary for a couple of days.
Man, I feel so sorry for you.
It was okay. I mean, we did
Calgary
stuff. I had to stay in Strathmore, which is even worse. Funny enough, I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe I could play Pokemon Go, but it's Strathmore, and it's like even smaller than my town. So it's like I could play Pokemon Go. Actually, there is some stops around and stuff like that. But but the temperature was so cold, I wouldn't even consider doing that. So didn't do that.
I mean, you could have easily had moved to Edmonton and then not. That didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. But for Christmas, like, it was fine and fun, and played some games and stuff, and apparently played the game, a tabletop game called Sequence. And man, it was. I remember playing the game a lot back in the day, and with the whole family, and it's like a lot of fun. And then playing it again, and it's like, oh man, that for whatever, I guess it was like a veil of, me being younger, playing the game disappeared, and then I played it again with the family at Christmas, and realizing, wow, this game, it's not a lot to it. It's really just, you play with 2 decks of cards, and the whole board is smaller cards that basically everyone's passed out cards, about like 6 or so, depending on how many players play. You dock down one less card, and basically you try to make a sequence of 5 on the board, and what tells you to put a piece on the board of your color is the cards that you have in your hand. And you can play a piece of your token there. So it'd be like, I have an ace of hearts, and then you try to put it on, on one of the 2 spots of the ace of hearts that's on the board. And the more we play, the more we're like, man, this is just more elaborate tic-tac-toe. Like, it's just not a lot to it, other than there's the one-eyed jack and a two-eyed jack, where one-eyed jack can take away a piece, and a two-eyed jack can place a piece anywhere. So really, it just came down to who can it just came down to like a random chance of who can place down that last piece will win the game. So it was like, well, it's kind of fun time. Like, it was kind of fun, but once you kind of figure that out, it was like, there's not a lot to it. Like, there's not much strategizing or even like trying to cooperate with your buddy. Like, you can play a 2-player co-op.
Are we talking about Tarkov now?
No, I'm still talking about Sequence, the board game. Come on.
Oh.
Because you can play it's a team-based sequence game with your teammate across from you, and then 2 other opponents across from you. They're across the table as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, again, it was just more elaborate tic-tac-toe, and there's just not a lot to it. And
it's an elaborate board game with added rules so that you can have more fun. Pretty much. Although by added rules, it's just like, instead of like, how do you choose where to place a token on the table, these cards are telling you what to do. Oh, that sounds lame.
A little bit, yeah.
That sounds like restrictions.
If anything, I kind of wish there was like more cards in the deck that you could pull from that could be like, I don't know, instead of pulling off one piece at a time, you could pull off 2 pieces at a time, or maybe adding more pieces at one turn, or you discard 2 cards so you could place another piece down on the board, but you have to be one of those 2 cards you discarded, or something
that makes the game a little bit more fun.
Yeah, just something a little more elaborate. But I'm like, well, whatever. Sequence is sequence. Like, you play at your grandma's.
Fucking shit! What the fuck happened?
Uh-oh.
Alan, did you hear that?
What?
Josh just like disconnected and then reconnected.
No, he didn't disconnect me.
Oh. No, I have to say, I'm not sure if my internet is shit or Discord is fucking up on me.
It's probably Discord.
It's probably just me.
It's probably just you.
We'll blame.
Oh, and also I gotta tell the story of when me and my family went to see the Christmas lights in Strathmore. Here's the funny thing. So it seems like every year we go see the Christmas lights on Christmas and just go enjoy the Christmas scenery and the beautiful lights and whatever. And it's it's like a little time waster and it's fine. But the hilarious thing was though is how as we're walking around, we're like, man, I think we're the only ones here because we can only tell that like some car tracks coming in and out of the lights were, like a few cars going in and out, or like, man, maybe like some people went to this or something. Cause again, it was freezing cold. It was like -35 or some shit. And we're walking around. And of course, before we went to it, we had to scrounge for warm clothing. So we had to wear whatever we could. And, walking around and we're like, all right, we saw the lights and we're leaving, and the people who were working the thing going, oh, go see the Santa's cabin. And of course this points towards this school portable that says Santa's cabin on the side, and he's like, oh, there's more stuff in there to look at, and there's also hot chocolate in there and stuff you can warm up with. And we're like, oh, that's great, thank you. And we walk in that building and they have a table with whole bunch of stuff like raffles and whatever. And then we're
Did you magically win some amazing device This is the part where you say, I got a PlayStation 5.
Here's the thing. No, because the stuff that they're raffling was like, oh, you got it from a dollar store.
Oh.
Like, yeah. And
so
also, no one
shit.
thought to bring money at all. So we were like, oh, we were there to enjoy it, but we didn't think to bring money. So everyone's like, and even my brother-in-law was like, oh man, like, do you see the raffles and shit? We're like, man, no one brought money at all. We felt sorry for them because we're like, well, fuck, we would have tossed some coins at least for a donation box that they had, but we're like, none of us had money. And
we'll just blame the new hire, Greg. This was all Greg's idea.
Yes, and
it was all this Greg's guy's idea.
Yeah, and also the hilarious part is when we got into the cabin, or the Santa's cabin, we were checking out all the cool stuff in there, and like all the little like knickknacks and Christmas crap that's all over the place, and lit up trees and whatever. We're talking to the person who was working it in that cabin. And we're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's Christmas, yada, yada. You want some hot chocolate? Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll make some cups for you. And then she's like, oh, funny thing. I lost a bet because you showed up. And we're like, what's the bet? No one will show up. And I'm like, we're the only losers to show up at the Christmas lights. And she's like, I lost a bet. I'm like,
oh. She was probably like, I had $20 in pizza on this thing. It could have been worse too. It could have been something like, oh man, damn it, I lost the bet. That means I can't.
And she admitted that to everyone, and we're like, she's like, that's. It was so funny. Like, it's so funny that we were like, oh, we're the only losers that showed up. Cool.
Well, I hope you had a good Boxing
30.
Day instead in the minus 30 godforsaken world that we live in.
Oh, fuck. It was just funny as we're leaving. We're like, we're the only people. The only people.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean.
Yeah. Although it's weird, as we were pulling out, there did seem like another car was pulling in, but we couldn't tell if it was a worker or someone who was actually going to enjoy the lights. So we were like, whatever.
Who cares? Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
All of us hate all this shit. Alan, what have you been doing for Christmas? How was your Christmas?
I mostly just relaxed here at home, hung out with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxed mostly.
We saw Kingsman. Last night.
Saw Kingsman last night. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Bit goofy in some places, but it was a Kingsman movie, so
it's Scotch time. Every day is Scotch time.
No.
That's literally a line in the movie. It goes.
Yeah, I know.
It was fun. We went and saw it. I enjoyed it. And then we went and played Magic and Smash, and it was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Although I could have played like some video game, like Switch games with my family as well, but I forgot to bring my dock, so that didn't happen. Although
I mean,
my reasoning for not bringing the dock was like, I know they have a Switch, they should have a dock, and then it turns out like they don't have a dock, and the nephew.
We got our Switch secondhand.
Oh, pretty much. It was more that situation of like nephew sold a Switch to sister, and then sister proceeded to lose the said dock, and I'm like, great, we just don't. I have a Switch and even something to charge it, but I don't have a dock, so I'm like, well, that's just not happening today. Oh well. Although we did play Jackbox with the family. That's always a good time.
I mean, Jackbox is always a fun game.
The only thing that sucks though is trying to, like, my dad is just computer illiterate up the ass, and every
your
time
dad's a cool dude. He's a chat. He's one of the most manliest men I've ever had an interaction with. Because he opens up the door and you can just see the gruff and scruff on him, and it's like, man, this man, if he touches a computer, it's just going to explode.
Yeah, like basically, he's a little better with technology, I would say currently. But it's just there's times where my dad's trying to wrap his head around certain technology things, and it just makes me like. Like him trying to wrap his head around it, and he's trying to explain it to me, and I get super lost in what he's talking about because he's trying to explain it in his own words, but not the words I'm used to. So I'll be like, "What are you saying? I don't. You mean this?
Did
No.
you have?
Do you
Did
mean
you have
that?
a moment? Did you have a moment with your dad where you had to explain what an NFT was?
I mean, forever ago, probably.
Okay, because this was something that recently happened. Me and my dad recently had a conversation about. Because he goes, so stupid question, and I'm like, oh no. And he goes, what's an NFT? Oh God, damn it! And he goes,
yep.
And his reasoning was, well, usually I have a friend, and I'm like, yes, and she goes. Usually when she invests in stuff like Bitcoin and stuff like that, money follows. So I'm just wondering. I'm like, Dad, this is like literally the worst thing that you can invest in.
Yeah. Like, if anything, it's just a weirder and more worse schemes you could possibly scheme.
It's a really okay. So I got a couple opinions on NFTs and stuff like that.
Oh, and also I had a conversation about NFTs with my brother because he's constantly trying to convince me, saying it's a good idea, and I'm like,
no, it's not.
No, stop talking about them because I don't care.
You know what's what's a good investment, Josh?
And also, he talked to my sister saying the same thing. Even my sister's like, "Fuck off." Like my brother.
You know what's a good investment,
clue.
Josh? I'm going to tell you about a little company that Jeff invested in at $11. AMD. AMD is a very good investment opportunity. If you're investing in AMD, you're Chad money. I'm just saying. Now, if you look at AMD now, just cry a little bit. But anyways, yeah. NFTs and stuff like that. That's been something good. But
yeah.
What were we talking about before we started talking about NFTs?
How our holiday
Christmas. And talking about what the shit we did during the holidays. Apparently it was talking about NFTs with the family.
Yeah, Josh, stop talking about NFTs with the family.
It's literally only my brother Joe, and there's no way to convince him otherwise that it's a bad idea. And here's the thing. He doesn't want to do the work and like buying these things or trying to trade them or anything. No. He wants to make an NFT, and he wants one of us to do all the hard work, and then he somehow makes money off of it. And we're like, what the fuck are you doing? We're not doing this. We're not doing this at all.
This sounds like what Electronic Arts wants to do, what Ubisoft wants to do, what Square Enix wants to do, what every company wants to do right now.
I mean, funny enough, it's like it's not necessarily passive money, but it's like a weird way to make money. But it's just like I have a feeling that it's not a good way. It's not going to be. Definitely not going to be sustainable.
Well, the idea of NFTs is really cool.
No, it's not.
The idea of like you have this thing that's non-fundable. It can never be duplicated. It's using cryptocurrency. It's a really cool idea. That's really cool. That's really interesting. More people, I want to see it in video games and stuff like that. The problem is like the execution. What has happened? What the result has been? Where you're sitting there, you're watching artists going, man. Artists are literally having an aneurysm that all of their art they spent 200 hours making for themselves and so people could enjoy is now suddenly worth $10 billion just because some fat slob coded a bot to just scrape Twitter and just rip all their photos and then say, no, this isn't my NFT now. This is mine, not yours. Fuck off. And then sell it for like a quick buck. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that was the big problem with NFTs now is just that people are getting ripped off on Twitter and a whole bunch of other places, and it's like they have to constantly go to like the NFT shit and just like keep batting it down over and over, and it's like this is eating all of their time It's like to the point that they have to pull all of their artwork off some of their online like Twitter and shit. And it's like, even the artists hate it because it's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't seem to keep my art anywhere without getting stolen from these NFT assholes. And it's like, great. Now we're losing great artists because they thought that this NFT shit's good. And I'm like,
they should go and start working for a company and call it Anti-NFT.
No.
Yeah, sure.
Another great idea by Jeff Rock.
Not really.
Okay. But, yeah. I think that we're done talking about Christmas, unless Allan wants to talk about Christmas a
I
little bit
don't
more.
really have much to talk about for this Christmas. I just kind of stuck around with the family and hung out.
Yeah.
I had a very light Christmas this year.
I just basically did normal. Oh, wait, no. I picked up 5 shifts, and then I wanted to kill myself.
Did you pick up the 5 shifts because you needed to make up for fucking...
5 shifts at, like, my retail job that I still have.
How do you still have that?
Because $100 is $100.
I guess, but man, I thought you quit that long ago.
I thought you quit it a long time ago too.
No. It's funny because like all of my friends, all of a certain group of friends who are in that group are who are like, how do I say this? Who would be prime subjects for like working that job? They're like, why are you working this job? It's so stupid that you're working this job. Oh, I can't believe you're doing this. And I'm like, dude, it pays me money so I can literally like do other stupid things, like skip the dishes and order green teas and have it delivered to my house so I don't leave my house, or pay for a computer part that you wouldn't think it breaks but it broke and I need it replaced. Or other stupid things. It's like Hobby Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But,
I was gonna say, did anyone get good Christmas hauls? Like good Christmas loot?
I got a sous vide that's like $200.
Nice.
Because my old one burned in a fire.
Oh,
that's
right.
actually a lot of what my Christmas gifts were. They were like, here's a replacement for this thing that burned up in your grandma's apartment fire. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yep.
I bought a bed because my bed burned in a fire.
Ah.
Can you tell the reason why I'm drinking?
Uh-huh. Well, for my Christmas haul, it was literally a Steam gift card, $20, an IOU $50 from my brother Joe because he's going through some shit with his family, and a can of sparkling like blueberry water that my niece got me, and it had a picture of Trunks on it, and her words said, I was looking through there's this place called Dank Mart, and they have all this like weird imported stuff, and they have all this weird imported drinks, and then she looked at the picture of the anime guy on it, and she goes, I knew this is Dragon Ball, and I knew or I think she said that, I can't remember, but she's like, I looked at it and kind of thinking of it as you, and should have got the can for you as like kind of stocking stuffer thing. And I'm like, thank you.
That's very nice.
I was like,
that's so sweet.
I said the words to her. Yes, you are very correct. This is very, very me. So I also like cracked it open and drank it. It was good. It was actually funny enough. All the weird dank, or the stuff you got from the Dank Mart, all the weird drinks she bought, I was the better drink. It was just like a sparkling water with berries, and it was, even though like it said sparkling water on it, it's still sugary as all get out. So it was like, oh, it still tastes good. And all the other drinks we tried taste like medicine, and we're like, what the fuck?
Hey, look, there are good energy drinks that taste like medicine.
Oh God, I don't want those.
Yes, you do, because they taste like medicine.
Oh no, I want it to taste like sugar.
No, sugar's lame.
I love sugar. Sugar,
Sugar's
sugar.
lame.
Sugar,
Taurine's
sugar.
what you want.
Sugar.
Allan,
sugar.
make him stop.
No.
He's bullying me.
I'm
started
doing the
You're on your own.
Allan's already disappointed in me. He's like, I want to just kill you.
No.
sugar. Oh.
Okay, Alan's just disappointed in me. He's like a disappointed dad.
No,
No.
just wondering.
I'm just playing games in the background, so.
Yeah, he's playing MechWarrior in the background. Okay, so we got some other topics this week. One that Alan might actually like.
Give me a moment. I will be right back.
All right.
Oh.
Okay, we'll save that one. But we got some Halo Infinite news, and I guess somebody needs to explain something to me. Josh. Okay, what the fuck is going on with like the crazy psychopath community that is most of the internet and J.K. Rowling? Because I saw this and I immediately wanted to like hold my head against water and just keep holding it there until I passed out. But I'll read it to you. Could Halo Infinite's oddball Quidditch guest let you live out your transphobic wizard dreams?
Oh boy.
I mean, what the fuck? Is this like peak game journalism?
Maybe. Like, I was gonna say, is this an article somewhere?
This is an article on Kotaku.com.
I mean, could you link it?
Yeah, let me look.
Because it sounds like one of those like topics of I don't know about that.
I mean, okay, like we also got to talk about like the IGN like 3 like top 100 games. There's some like really bad choices on there.
Well, I mean, they have to pick 100.
I mean, they put but like it's really easy to not put it's really easy to put Mega Man 2 on there. And
is that for the year? Is that for
No, just in general.
Huh.
And what they did was they instead put they put Mega Man 3 on there.
I mean, I don't know. I know Mega Man's good. I think the only thing I don't like about Mega Man is not enough checkpoints. That's my only gripe. Because I'm like, man, I went through this difficult jump section and I went through this difficult shoot section and then I'm at the boss. Or no, let's say, actually for me, it'd be like, okay, I went through a difficult, jumping section. Then I went through difficult shooting stuff out of the way. And then maybe I die just before the door. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. So it'd be like, okay, so where do I go from here? Oh, back at the beginning? Really? Like, what the fuck?
So they changed the headline. The headline used to read, "Let's look up the Wayback Machine."
Oh, did they?
Wayback Machine. So, like, they're talking about a glitch. But yeah, peak game journalism right there. Kind of fucking bullshit. Yeah, 2021. Let's see. Perfect. Let's see. Okay, somebody must have edited the tweet. Oh well. The headline. Okay, so update. The headline has been of this post has been updated to more clearly reflect the content of the article. So it did say that. Holy shit, man! What the fuck? Why the hell do people actually honestly give a shit about this stuff? Like, it's just kind of like, okay, man, like, I don't really care. Like, I get that you think I care, but, like, I really don't. Like, I don't care about Harry Potter. I think the books are shit. Harry Potter is a horrible series that cribs on, like, Christian mythology and other bullshit like that. Josh is, like, currently like, I hate you. Or something else.
I don't know. I feel like Kotaku in general is just like, oh, what dumb shit are they trying to get clickbait shit from? Oh, okay, that's what it is this week.
What it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the same old over and over.
Yeah. I'm trying to stall because I want to talk about Dark Souls.
Or we can talk about Tarkov.
Sure.
Alan,
What?
are you back?
Yes.
Do you want
Tarkov?
to talk about Dark Souls?
Sure.
Let's talk about Dark Souls.
What about the Dark Souls of first-person shooters?
Fuck you. Nobody wants to hear about how you sat there and were like, I'm going to be the best around.
No, I'm literally in Tarkov. You're suiting up. You're getting yourself to be battle ready as much as you can, and then you're praying to Jesus that some guy doesn't see you from a mile away and snipe your ass. Because everyone has that chance of being shot dead once, and you're like, okay, hopefully with a shotgun, and hopefully with some body armor, and hopefully with his helmet, I'll be okay. And then you get shot, and you're like, fuck! Well, well, I'm gonna go scav. And scavving is same thing as a PMC, but everyone else on the server is trying to go through the whole map and get items that a previous PMC game already happened, which is interesting because you see a bunch of dead bodies and shit, and you see a whole bunch of stuff that happened, and you're the guys that go in and try to scavenge whatever's left and get the hell out. Which is it's actual servers that happen, and you're going in later, which is so cool to me.
That just sounds lame.
No, that's so cool, because sometimes you see scenarios that happen, you go, wow, there's like 20 dead bodies here, and you go, what the heck happened? Like, did someone just blow up a bunch of shit, or did someone like just go in guns blazing, or whatever? But yeah, like the freaking I just like the whole scenario of the game is just the whole scenario of the game, like it's super realistic, and you have to worry about food consumption and your if you're hydrated enough, how much, almost you have to worry about weight, but so far I haven't dealt with weight at all. But there's also like radiation poisoning, or if you get sick.
Is it like one of those more realistic games where you're just like you're playing it?
Well, here's the thing. It does have realistic aspects, and it has lots of realistic, like, these guns do shoot like real guns. So if you pick up a shotgun and you're using it, it will shoot like a realistic shotgun would, because they can actually shoot fairly long distances, and they have a spread like it's real good. And because the guns are real, you'd be like, oh, I'm going in with a shotgun knowing that it's a real shotgun, and you don't necessarily have to worry about it like dissipating like crazy at 10 feet in front of you. No, you can hit that dude from far away because it's an actual shotgun.
So it's actually like they actually modeled out the actual projectiles.
Oh yeah.
So they probably did raycast, and instead of doing a hard cutoff, they just did.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the guns are what's it called? Not projectile based, but they're like hit scans.
Yeah.
So but there is
you do.
Yeah, but there is bullet drop. I know that. Like if you're trying to shoot from far away. So I don't know. Depends on the gun, I guess. Yeah, like it's just that the whole scenario of the game is just so interesting, and they actually just released putting in voice chat for proximity base.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
so they just put voice chat in the game.
Yeah, and it's super interesting because sometimes, because when you're as a scav and you're trying to go in and scrounge around for shit, and you're trying to not die, but you're also trying to find certain items so you can try to build your base or build your gun or whatever, you could just yell out in the middle of like maybe two other guys who are also scavenging that it's not you, and going, have you guys seen any toilet paper? I need some toilet paper. And you might hear back I haven't seen any. And either like another guy go, I think I've seen some in the box over there. And you go, okay, I'm gonna go look at the box. Hey, and you're like, oh, don't shoot me. And like, just this interaction.
Kill each other.
Well, here's the thing. And when you're scavving, you're not supposed to shoot other scavs, because when you load into a game, you get either good shit or like mediocre shit. If you have a bad karma rating, you get terrible shit. So like when you basically when you're scavenging, you're supposed to be like another character going in and trying to get all the loot and then running away as fast as you can, because you only have a very limited amount of time to be in that map. And yeah, so like you want your scav karma to be as high as possible. So when you load in, you'd be like, oh, what do I have? Oh, I have this really awesome backpack that's huge amount of space. I have this awesome vest that I can put like a bunch of shit on. And also, oh, this gun I have turns out is worth a lot of money. So if I just survive this game, I could just be real good for the next for a little bit of the PMC games later on. And like, and also the interactions with other scavs was just super fucking hilarious, because it's like other people are just trying to scrape by and trying to get some cool shit. And although sometimes you'll run into people that'll be like, hey, I'll shoot you if you come in here. And you're like, okay. And you just hightail it out of there, because you don't know if he has a big ass gun or no gun, or he has a fucking just a pea shooter. Like, you just don't know. And also, again, everyone has a chance to die on one hit, so you just like, man, like, again, like, the way this game like interacts with other people and trying to figure out, and also because this game is so realistic, the game doesn't show you where your teammates are per se, other than you talking with your friends on Discord and them trying to do call outs of where they are and trying to be descriptive as possible while gunfiring is happening, or you're in the middle of a gunfight, or like, oh, there's 5 scavs are trying to jump ya and your team of 3, and you're like, oh shit, we'll try to shoot these people here and shoot them all and not kill ourselves, because there's nothing on the screen telling you, oh, that's gonna be my teammate and that's a scav. Well, you have to just generally look at them and go, okay, that's definitely a scav. And that should be my teammate, so I'm going to shoot this guy. Okay, good. That was a scav. Oh, man. And there's times where I accidentally shot my teammate. And I'll be like, oh, fuck. Well, here's all my healing items, because I'm an idiot. And also, there's times where I've been completely blown away by a teammate because he's thinking I was a scav. And I was like, oh, or I was like another NPC or another playable character from somewhere else. And I'm like, because like...
Why are you so bad at video games?
Yeah. But it's like, again, like the interactions I get in this game are just like nothing else I've seen before. And also like the inventory management and like you running around and trying to get loot and like, and like everyone has the power to kill each other as like, or especially the scav scenario, like everyone has the power to kill each other, but you're trying not to kill each other, just want to get the shit and run. So you sometimes see another guy doing like looting the same area you are, and you just make eye contact and you just nod your head and keep running the other way. Like, it's super weird game. I have been, so far I've been enjoying it. The only gripes I have about it is because it's so realistic, you kind of don't know where anything is, and without a Sherpa by your side, you're SOL. You have to look up.
You're just describing Destiny rating.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't have a buddy with you or someone who really knows what they're doing, like you don't know what you're doing, and when you're going into scenarios, like your best thing to do is like, okay, go over here, loot some shit, and then try to run out of there, figure out what is an escape. Where you can escape from, where you can't escape from, because there's very specific spots around the whole map where you can escape from, and each spot is very random, and also some spots are like highly, you could get your ass shot here, but hey, you get lucky and not get your ass shot there, and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's just, man, like I don't think I've ever like had it like, trying to not die in a scenario and like try to run around and like, have like gameplay I've never had before.
You just had gameplay that you never thought you could have in your life.
Where'd you put? It's in your room.
Anyways,
in your room. Sorry, I'm talking to my dad.
Yeah.
But
hi, Mr. Meek. You're a cool guy.
You're in my headphones.
Well, you can tell him that. You can be like, my friend says you're a cool guy.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I think Tarkov is a neat game, but you need to find someone who's been playing the game for quite a while already, just so you be like, okay, what am I supposed to worry about? When am I supposed to go? What are the resources I can learn from? What are the where are the extraction points you're supposed to go to? Because I had no clue where to go. The game certainly doesn't tell you, so you had to go look up on the internet to figure out where you're supposed to go. And I feel like, again, this game says it's in beta, quote unquote, but then, it's out, so it's just this weird middle ground. I think, like, if they can upgrade it a little, I would just think, like, you gotta maybe somehow have scenarios that teach people these are excavation points, like, or have some visual that can put out there to be like, yes, this is a place you can't escape from. Or saying like, oh no, like that this light on this door is off, so we can't use that one, or something. Yeah. Something.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about Dark Souls. Let's talk about Dark Souls 3. Because Allan and I have been... Allan has been dragging me through Dark Souls.
I haven't been dragging you through. Zip's been dragging you through.
Okay, Zip has been dragging me through Dark Souls. There's Zip and Rory, who have both been on the show, have been dragging me through Dark Souls, much through my chagrin. And they've been doing this thing where they are like, okay, we're gonna play Dark Souls. And I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna play Dark Souls. And then all of a sudden what ends up happening is as we're playing Dark Souls, we start having fun. It's this weird concept. I don't know what it is. All I heard about this game was that it was bad. No. I wouldn't like it. And it was incredibly difficult.
Yeah, you heard. Well, it's
apparently with like 4 friends, you just like walk through and then everyone dies.
Well, maybe with people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think this game needs more people who know what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
So what ended up happening is Christmas rolls around and I had Dark Souls 3 on my wish list. And so Zip bought it for me. And that game is hilariously, insanely crazy. There are so many unique things in that game. There's stuff like Siegfried. There's stuff like the big demon boy. I might have cheesed one of the permanent enemies who gives you like a really crazy sword.
How did you cheese it? They just got stuck in the wall.
What?
How did you cheese it?
I was Allan.
How did you cheese it? I'm asking that question.
Okay.
We're both like holy fuck.
Okay. No, I heard Josh and I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Thought you were asking a different question. I'm sorry. No, I stood out by the bonfire outside this great door, and the boss would be like inside a room. And if you go into the room, it's like almost certain death unless you fight him 1-on-1. And I'm not good at the video game. I'm of course a poorly crafted character. My character sheet is awful, and so I was like, okay, great. I'm just gonna cleanly wait, and so I'm waiting. And then I realized I had fire bombs. So I just started hucking fire bombs in there. Now, of course, I had a bunch of souls, so I went back to the merchant and I bought more fire bombs. Like, maybe 20 times the amount of fire bombs that I would need. And I just started throwing them in there. And eventually the thing died and I was victorious. And I just sat there and I just said I fought this really hard boss and won. It was the easiest enemy I've ever fought in Dark Souls.
So you threw your Molotov cocktails at him and he just burned to death?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I mean, tis what you do in life. You just throw cocktails at your foes.
Somebody says something you don't like, you just call them something that they're not. If you hate somebody, you just be a massive douchebag. Or you call them what you are, and you insult them, and that's how you run through life. You just throw Molotov cocktails everywhere.
Yep. Burn everything down.
Burn everything down.
So which boss was it again? Or
it wasn't a boss. It was an ice doggo.
Ice Dog.
It was the one from like this sacrifice or the Road of Sacrifice.
Road of Sacrifice stuff. Yeah, okay, no, I know what you're talking about now.
And so I just was like, this is not gonna be the worst thing in the world. And so all of a sudden it just ended up dying, and I was just like, oh, that's convenient. So I murdered that thing. It was great. And Allan has been in that game. We've had runs with Allan. It's a really good game for what it is. I don't know why I still prefer Bloodborne over it. But it's a really good action game that works really well, and it promotes very much thinking. And I can see why people like it. I still prefer Bloodborne because Bloodborne is a lot more Victorian, and I like that aesthetic a little bit more. If that,
I can get what you mean, but I don't agree with you on the aesthetic because it's still like it's not that this world doesn't have its own like good aesthetic, but it's just
it's different.
Yeah.
And if I'm not sitting there being like, oh, it's so bad, I hate it. It's like, no, the game is fine.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I plan to do a full run through on my own eventually, with nobody else helping me.
Yeah.
As the game was supposedly supposed to be played. Supposedly.
You mean?
Yeah, you're supposed to play that game on your own with nobody helping you.
Like a sociopath? Yeah,
No,
I said
kind
it.
of sort. No, the reason why you're supposed to play it on your own is you're supposed to play it on your own and use like NPCs to help you.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue. I don't know. I would argue that game had the online feature, although you had to.
Well, okay. I have a funny story about me and the online feature of Dark Souls. Alan's probably heard it like 20 times.
I've heard it 20 times. It's still funny every time.
So, okay. To explain in English what happened. Zip buys me the game. Okay. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Zip buys the game. And so Zip's been hounding me to play this game. And usually when Zip's hounding me to play a game, it's like, okay, fine, Zip, I'll play the game. We'll play it together. We'll have fun. Everything will be good. And Zip goes, yay! So Rory lops on. And he's like, hey, you're going to play Dark Souls? I'm like, fine, okay, I'll boot up Dark Souls. I'm not really looking forward to it because the PC ports are always bad. That's what this saying in the PC community is. PC ports are always bad on Dark Souls games. Ah!
No, they're not.
Right. This is like, and I'm like, okay. So I'm playing it, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. Go through the first area, get it to Firelink, finally can start summoning people. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to murder this firekeeper bitch. And Zip freaks out. Zip's like, don't do that. No. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so we're talking to Rory later, and Rory says, yeah, it's fine if you kill her. So we're all in like the first area, okay? I haven't progressed or anything like that. And so we're playing, and we have an invader. This is the first invader I've ever been invaded by. Guy shows up. Guy's a level 99, like ton of like damage, ton of XP, ton of everything. And Rory goes, okay, this guy something seems a little off about this guy. He goes, okay. So Zip fights him. The guy pulls out like a massive axe and like basically one-shot Zips. Rory goes, oh, okay, I think I know what's going on here. And so Rory's like, I'll handle this. So Rory gets him down to about half health and dies. Like, straight up just disconnects. Something weird happened. He gets 4 achievements in his inventory. He gets 4 achievements every single mode.
Rory tools on him for a little while.
Yeah, like,
the guy gets so
like
mad about
5 minutes.
He eventually just says, fuck it. Forces Rory to basically disconnect.
Rory's game is now back at the beginning.
He's now gone into New Game Plus level 7.
Yep. So the guy basically was a certified hacker. Now, the interesting part is the part after this, where I would fight the guy, and basically the game had glitched, where basically I was like, every single time he would kill me, my health would just go back to beginning. And every single time I would kill him, his health would go back to the beginning. So I just alt F forward, and I was like, fuck this shit. This guy's fucking crazy. So the first Dark Souls invader I ever had was a
massive hacker.
A massive fucking hacker. A massive loser, we'll say. But the game's fun. I enjoyed it. I also played Bright Memory.
Bright Memory?
Infinite.
Oh.
That game is not as good as Bright Memory. I actually liked Bright Memory a lot. But Bright Memory Infinite I don't think is as good as the previous one. I've just gone up to the first boss. And it has problems. There are things where it's like, hey, the basic enemy design is really okay. And as I'm playing it, I'm like, oh, well, like, it can't be that bad. And then you actually face your first ancient enemy, and you're like, oh, this game is actually okay. So there's my issue. I said it. That's my initial opinion. Does anyone else have anything else they want to talk about this week?
Not really. I don't have much to talk about at all this week.
Did we get good Boxing Day hauls?
I've sorta. I bought games on Steam, but that was about it. I didn't really. Don't really have, like, I don't know. Was there anything good for Boxing Day? Because I don't think I remember seeing much.
Well, I got a really weird instance of Witcher appearing in my inventory, and I don't know where that came from. Why are you laughing?
Because I got you a game too. I'm not sure if you realize that showed up.
Well, okay, so you bought me Jedi Dark, whatever the fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jedi whatever Dark the fuck.
Cool. This is great. The Witcher game just randomly appeared in my inventory, and I'm like, I don't think Tony got it for me. I forget what Tony got me. I need to look at my activity. But Tony got me a game. I know that you got a game. I know that I bought you, Allan. Allan got me Halo Wars Remastered, which is probably one of my favorite Halo games. So yeah, I bought a ton of other games too, but we can talk about those if we want. But other than that, pretty much nothing really interesting happened. There was a couple really big deals, but nothing really crazy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, remember the years before, there were like real cool deals going on. But then now it just feels like I don't think there's much of anything because COVID ruined everything.
It was okay.
Like, I would feel that the deals before COVID were way better than we're now.
I mean, yeah. No, you're kind of right by that.
Yeah. Especially that, like, everyone wanted a computer, like, try to build a computer and just soaked up the dire market and couldn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that made it worse. And also chip shortage and all that junk.
I mean, I tried to buy a 3090 twice, and both times I got told to go pound sand.
Yep. Well, did you pound sand?
You got told to go kick rocks.
Oh, yeah. Did you kick the rocks too?
I mean, I picked them up and I threw them in your general direction, Josh.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Out of my rock collection.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you, Josh. It's all your fault.
I picked it up and went, ooh, amethyst. Put this over here.
I didn't realize I was that strong with a throw. Brendan was there. Brendan was like, why the fuck are you throwing rocks at Josh's general direction? I'm like, because it makes me feel better.
Fool's gold. Put this over here.
You mean quartz?
Oh, yeah, isn't fool's gold? It's like still gold color. It's just not real gold.
No, it's not real gold.
No.
Yeah, there was like, I don't know. There's not a really good lot of deals. There's some really nice deals, but there's not a really good deal, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think the only best deal I had, it's not even from this year. It was like the year or two prior. Was me getting was it oh man, it was a video game thing. I forgot what it was. I think it was a Wii U. Yeah, but I think I bought a Wii U on a Black Friday, or not Black Friday, but like one of those deals of like Boxing Day or whatever. And I was happy that I got one, but at the same time, it was like, could have been better.
Could have been worse.
It just feels, like it just feels like it could have been. Just COVID ruined it.
Yeah, COVID ruined a lot of things.
COVID, it's still ruining a lot of things. But that's beside the point.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm to the point with this virus where I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Oh, a lot of people are like that. I
already had it. I don't care. Just let me live my life. And then you got people like Josh who are like, I don't want COVID. And it's like, fuck you. You're going to get COVID.
I should probably get that booster. Although I'm not traveling, but I should probably get it anyways.
I mean, Josh, I recently heard, Allan, have you heard of this this study that says that if you get multiple shots of the vaccine, it reduces effectiveness of the vaccine?
Yeah, that's a thing that's been going around for a little while now, and I'm very hesitant to say anything about it because I don't know how accurate it is.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say that seems weird.
Yeah.
Well, according to Israel, it's like
Israel. It's not even like a small project either. It's like Israel mentioning this too.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's like, well, it makes sense. So, but it's still kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that's a podcast.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Black Man Games podcast. You can listen to us every Thursday on blackmangames.podbean.com. You can also subscribe to us from your favorite podcasting app of choice. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Stab.
And I'm gonna.
Someone actually bought me a copy of the game so they're like, hey, do you want to, I want you to play it.
They were trying to force you to play it, so they bought you a copy so that way then you would play it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll play it now. And
I think you know what you should have done. That was your first mistake.
Yeah. And I'm like, I think the game's great. It's just that it has definite weird problems. Like, the game's trying to go realistic, but then at the same time you have weird problems with like inventory. Like, you have inventory management that, like, you have to flip around your items in your inventory. You have to figure out what you can even go really granular with the gun modifications to the point of like you're building a real gun. So you need these parts and you need this part and that part and this part and that part and that part and that part and this part and that part and maybe this part, and do you want that part? Maybe not, because that sucks. And then you try to build the gun from scratch, and then then you probably immediately lose it within 20 seconds of starting.
Is this like an Arma game?
I mean, it could have been. It doesn't feel Arma to me, because there's not like 700 button prompts or 700 different button combinations to do one thing.
Okay, well, we're going to start the show, and then we're going to do cold open and stuff like that.
May as well.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry that I just forgot what time was.
Why are you sorry?
Because I'm like, I should have been here earlier, and I should have realized what time it was.
If anything, the thing that I'm more disappointed about is you not showing up to the New Year's Eve party.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how it is. But anyways, you better help me move. I will buy you pizza.
I can figure out some time, and I can blot out.
No. What you should do is you just be like, I can't play Tarkov Boys, and then when asked why, just be like, just sit there and just say nothing.
Yeah.
Just do what I do and just say nothing. Just be like, I can't play games, boys, and then when they ask why, just go, no reason.
But yeah. I guess we have to do the sync thing.
Yeah, so sync in 3, 2, 1.